All right, welcome back to another exciting podcast. Honestly, I'm excited for this one because there has been some exciting and dramatic, in some cases, news here in the Greater Vancouver market. And we're boots on the ground here to let you know what's going on. But more than that, share with you the exciting news that has come out of everything that's happened. Now, what has happened? You might be asking if you've been living under a rock. Well, Keller Williams Ocean Realty, one of the brokerages here that has over 200 agents, unfortunately is closing up shop. We got the news about 2 weeks ago. And for agents like us, it's been a bit of a mad scramble, but that's where the exciting part comes in because don't count Keller Williams out. We are coming back stronger than ever. And today on the podcast, I'm excited to share with you guys the leadership that's going to be bringing Keller Williams and making it one of the biggest, baddest, and boldest brokerages in Greater Vancouver. First of all, I just want to invite, we've got three guests on the podcast with me today, which is super exciting. It's one of our biggest podcast episodes when it comes to guests. So first of all, we've got Kelly Fry back. Everyone's familiar with Kelly Fry, but if this is your first time watching this podcast, Kelly Fry is a team leader for one of the top producing teams in the Greater Vancouver market. Kelly and I have been working together for over 13 years. So Kelly, welcome back to the podcast.
Good to see you, Cam.
And we also are super excited to have Kristen Romandetti. She's the operating principal of Keller Williams Bold in Calgary. She's also an agent and team leader out in Florida. Not only that, she's a Bold coach with MAPS Coaching. So Kristen, welcome to the podcast as well.
And I think a one-on-one coach too, right, Kristen?
I am. Yeah. Thank you so much for having
One-on-one
me.
coach. Absolutely. And finally, a visionary in the New Brunswick market and taken on Calgary as well. We have someone who's been in the industry for a while now. I'm not going to talk about numbers there, but all I can tell you is this man here has led his agents in the New Brunswick market to average 22 deals a year. He did 4,900 transactions out of his brokerage last year in New Brunswick, of all places. If you're watching this and you're in the Greater Vancouver market, their average price point is $350,000. So the leadership that this gentleman is going to bring to the Vancouver market is going to blow it up. So ladies and gentlemen, welcome Austin Drisdell to the podcast.
Thanks so much, Karen. Great to be on board.
All right. Well, we've got everyone here. We're going to talk a little bit about what happened with Keller Williams Ocean. Obviously, we want to, basically air out what's happened, kind of move on from it right away and really start to go into what we've done to make a place for Keller Williams agents and any agent in Greater Vancouver who really wants to grow. So Kelly, I kind of want to start off with you to start. And let's not sugarcoat it. Let's talk about what happened with Keller Williams Ocean. What was the big announcement that just came out recently?
Well, we had a big announcement that the offices were closing. And, as we currently move in a world where a lot of the bricks and mortar overhead has been challenging, we did have previously 3 locations. And so it wasn't surprising that there would be some challenges in a difficult market with 3 large overheads. So we were told that we had to be ready for a May 11th transfer of our license, basically, that we had to find elsewhere to set up shop.
Now,
and
Kelly,
that's where we found ourselves.
Yeah, and Kelly, you're an accountant by trade. So I mean, one thing that I've always learned from Kelly is follow the money, right? And when you start looking at the numbers that the agents are producing and or the lack of production that started to happen with the difficulty of the market and the overhead that 3 offices kind of carry with them, you saw this starting to happen beforehand, and we actually took a little bit of action a little sooner than this last 2 weeks. We started having conversations about what we might do in case something happens to Keller Williams in BC back in February. Maybe you can let us know a little bit about what kind of action steps you took from that perspective.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I had always heard about Austin. I always knew about his success as an operator and his leadership. I had the good fortune of meeting him through some of Jeff Glover's training. And, as Canadians, we meet up in a family reunion, which was our big conference. We were in Atlanta. And so we had the opportunity to sit down with Austin and say, we know you're open in the West. We know you're looking to grow the Calgary office. And maybe if there was a way that we could align ourselves with you, would you be open to this? And we had a meeting with him and with Kristen, who's the operating principal of Calgary. And we said, if there was a way that we can make this happen, would you guys be interested in working with the Vancouver agents who want to stay with KW should something happen? And they said,
I was going to say in that meeting, then Kristen and Austin, if you want to jump in, what was your guys' reaction to that?
Oh, thanks. We're honored. And I mean, we can't control our first thought and we can't control our second. So, yes, complete honor and how grateful. And yet, isn't it fascinating that sometimes leadership gets called on in the hardest of moments? So, Austin and I are fixers, we're doers, we're problem solvers, we're solution finders, and all the things. And yet it was up to us to do the fact finding. We had to dig deep to see, let's face it, we're talking about different provinces. We clearly have Calgary Bold set up, KW Bold set up in Calgary, and now a different province, which we've been in office just over 2 years in Calgary. So what did that look like? Would KWRI even allow it? So there was tons of digging essentially that Austin and I had to do in order to see the feasibility of such and if it made sense. Because let's face it, you guys have been through some tumultuous times out there in Vancouver, and we didn't want to be delivering the same plate, if you will. We're not delivering the same meal by any means. So, Austin, thoughts?
Yeah, I concur. And one of the things that we really wanted to ensure is that we didn't come with leadership in hand. We came with a process that was good for the agents in Vancouver or British Columbia. And we also wanted to make sure that we align with KWRI. And there was a little bit of a time where we didn't know that we're going to be able to support the Vancouver or the Surrey people simply because we didn't even know it was going to be allowed. And I think Kristen and I sort of got this opportunity because of the leadership that we held or currently hold in New Brunswick and in Alberta to say, when desperate times needs desperate measures and we need to get this done, then there's two people with boots on the ground that can go get it done.
Now, speaking about going and getting it done, obviously, we were working behind the scenes for several months at this point. I mean, February till April. And, you know, it was back and forth between can it be done? No, it can't be done. It has to be a market center to maybe we can do a business center. This was flying to the highest of levels at Keller Williams. And you guys definitely led the charge on that and having those deep conversations to see how can it be done. And obviously in the US, we've heard of scenarios where market centers open up business centers across state line. But in Canada, this is a whole other beast. I mean, between regulations, between provinces, to just how the structure is set up. What was the pivotal moment when suddenly it went from, I don't think we can get this done to what can we do to make this happen? We need to get it done now.
I'll let you take that one, Austin. Pretty sure it was one phone call.
It was one phone call, and when the announcement on a Friday that the agents were going to be displaced in British Columbia, there was almost like an emergency call, and they pulled John Clyde and company pulled everyone together and said, "This is for real. This is what's going to happen. When can you guys get out there and get this put together and see if we can have a soft landing for approximately 200 agents to stay with Keller Williams?"
And I'm pretty sure that emergency meeting was on a Sunday.
It was.
That's
Yeah.
right.
That was.
And
Yeah.
and then I remember Austin flew in by the next Tuesday morning. So
Yeah, so I'm sitting in beautiful Port Coquitlam at 12:30 on Tuesday morning and said, "Okay, what do we got to do here to get this thing rolling?" And with the help of Cameron, trying to navigate through your provincial government, BCFSA, was no easy feat. And there was times where I thought, man, is this ever going to happen? As a matter of fact, I'm a doer, get it
Yes,
done
you
type
are.
of guy.
Yes, you
And I
are.
took the application and drove an hour to see if I can find someone to meet with me so I can go through the application and have everything done.
Only to
Only
find
to
out
find
what.
out that I'm on the sixth floor of a building that has 30,000 square feet and not one worker in it, only a receptionist telling me that the person I need to talk to works from home.
Yeah.
So back to the office I go, and we keep digging and digging. And I say to Cam, Hey, we're almost there, man. We almost got it. And when we just about say we almost got where we need to go, another roadblock,
Yeah.
another thing. There
Sounds
was
like
more
real
things
estate.
come. What's that?
Austin, it sounds like real estate. Pretty sure
Well,
every agent has hit a roadblock at a time or two.
it sounds like real estate, but for me, it's chaos. Because of the bureaucratic red tape that someone needs to go through, and sometimes when you move faster than the person you're trying to get to move, it becomes very limiting and very time consuming.
Yeah, absolutely. And the other thing too, Austin, and I just want to pull Kelly in on this is, you know, the speed at execution that we witnessed from you. You were here from Tuesday till Friday, and you know we have seen people move fast, but I mean Austin just moved at the speed of light. But I would say, you know, while we definitely were all pulling together, I mean we had some other people helping us out of the biggest levels. Kelly, what was some of the things that absolutely blew your mind that we were able to accomplish in those 3 days?
Well, I mean, we rolled in unannounced to a lawyer's office first thing in the morning. And, I know he's a workaholic, so fortunately he was there. And we basically said, listen, we need this extra provincial registration done right now. And they dropped whatever they were doing, and we had it back within 2 hours. And then we had other agents who were coming to us and asking for how they could help. And Gemma Wilson found out, and she said, what do you guys need? We were trying to get a business license that same day after we left the lawyer's office. And the city was telling us 2 weeks, and we didn't have 2 weeks. We had to get this thing fast. So she was able to call and pull strings at the mayor's office, and we had it in under 24 hours. So those were spectacular moves. And then she called the president of the real estate board because she knew him as well. And he put a word out to BCFSA, and we just kept getting the right people pushing. And I think all of that combined, our managing broker also had some connections that helped in terms of reaching out to BCFSA, and we just kept charging forward as fast as we could, all of us on the same path. And I think that's how we were able to meet the deadline in time to give agents the security of knowing that there would be a brokerage to land at before their license had to be removed from the existing brokerage. And
Yeah,
kudos
absolutely.
to Kristen and to Austin for just moving all the parts as fast as possible. And, in real estate, top performers move at a very high speed, more than average agents. And we definitely saw it in action with this situation. So we felt we made the
Absolutely.
right move with returning to the right leaders for sure.
Thank you.
Absolutely. And in fact, we managed to get the business license Friday last week at the time of recording, which was just under 2 weeks to get a brokerage fully approved at BCFSA. I mean, I don't know anyone else besides Austin and Kristen who could maybe get something like that done, especially in a highly regulated environment like British Columbia. Austin, Kristen, this is going to be a question for you, and maybe more from Austin, but obviously, Kristen, I think you can add a lot of value here too. Austin, you got to see the agents at the meeting that we held to let them know what our plan was, and you got to see some of what their fear, like what they were fearful around, what they were nervous about losing in case of deals or business or what have you. What do you feel is the greatest opportunity that they're going to gain now that you're going to provide that will help overcome a lot of these fears?
Well, I'll start, and I'm sure that Kristen will jump in here. But here's what I saw in the room. I saw approximately 40 people that were in the room saying, "Is this for real? Is this my lifeline because of a sinking ship? Is this going to be a safe landing for me?" And what I read in that room was these people were looking for help, and they needed to have some reassurance that not only that we were going to talk about being better leaders, that we're actually going to be better leaders and provide all the necessary tools, education, training, technology, everything that goes with being a better leader. And I think that having that conversation and giving them some hope that things are going to be much different. I had people come up to me after the call and say, "Thank you. I feel comfortable now knowing that I'm in better hands than what I was in, or I'm in hands that are going to coddle me when I need to be coddled and support me when I need to be supported and hold me accountable when I need to be held accountable. And I was super excited. And I guess that might have driven me more to make sure that this license went as fast as it can, because Kristen and I always say this a lot. We change lives every day. And I saw 40 lives that we could change instantly in that room.
Awesome.
Yeah,
Yeah. And I think,
oh,
go
sorry,
ahead,
go ahead.
Kristen.
I was going to
No,
say,
go ahead.
Austin, to add to that, I think you're so right. And I unfortunately was coaching Bold, so wasn't able to take the red eye out and got to be on that meeting. And the thing that resonates with me still, as I'm managing group chats, as we're doing transfers, all of the things, is that we made a commitment that night to elevate, stabilize, and bring true leadership. And there's an authenticity that Austin and I bring to the table at every single level. And I trust that agents got to see that from him, whether it was from me. We had our region, our regional director there too. And yet, words can fall on deaf ears. And if people aren't bought in, we're authentic. Like, we're in the trenches with you. And what was happening with zero notice to speak to those agents, nobody cared about their families. Nobody cared about their incomes. Nobody cared. We can talk about deals and all the things. And yet it came down to the livelihoods of all of you that someone was putting at risk. And that is motivation for both of us to show up. We're not going to show up differently. We're just going to show up. And sometimes that's all agents need in their world, is people who show up for them, who fight for them. And that's literally what Austin was doing. That's what all of you were doing. We have a bold truth in our bold laws that says no one succeeds alone. And yet we get to walk our belief system every single time in this culture that we call Keller Williams. And what broke my heart, honestly, is that I'm not sure British Columbia has seen that. I'm not sure
To
agents.
speak to that, actually, Kristen, I just want to jump on that part that you just said. Kelly, you've been an agent now for 15 years with Keller Williams. It's the only brand you know.
Yes.
What's the biggest thing that's been missing for Keller Williams in Greater Vancouver, in your opinion?
Well, I think we had good leadership in the past with our previous brokerage, but I would say that the connection, like with Kristen, with Bold and Maps, and the true Keller Williams, and Austin is so deeply entrenched and also such a good business person. Both of them are good business people. We had a really good culture in our previous brand, but I would say that we needed to amp up the level of business quality, which I think has come now. And we're all very excited because a lot of what Keller Williams has to offer, which I've had the good fortune of seeing at Family Reunion and Mega Camp and being part of masterminds, a lot of agents have never been exposed to, and this will be the first time. I mean, I was looking at my Bold awards. I think the last one we took was 2021 maybe, and prior to that 2019. We haven't seen that kind of training around for a long time.
Yeah, for sure. And I mean, obviously now, from the perspective of what Austin has put together in Keller Williams out in New Brunswick, enhanced by not only Keller Williams training, Austin, you've been tied very, very deep into the Glover training as well. Talk to me about how that has impacted your agents out there and what that's going to bring to the agents here in Greater Vancouver.
Well, first of all, let me say that Glover is an additional tool. There's all kinds of training within the Keller Williams ecosystem that we're going to take advantage of beside Glover. Glover was not an afterthought, but it was part of the process. Is let's go do Ignite, let's go do Bowl, let's go do the online courses that Keller Williams have, and then let's add some spice to it. And that's how we got involved with Glover. So to be quite honest, it's a combination of both. And we're going to do both. Here's the thing, is that when you're going to provide education, you better provide education from the top up and the top down and the bottom up. And when we get to put people in the room, whether it's with bowl coach Kristen Romandetti or Jeff Glover talking about tactical skills of how to go present yourself, then that's a win-win for everyone. So it's a combination of doing both, but don't say you're going to provide it and then don't provide it. Education is key. And what I keep saying all the time is it's our job as leaders to fill your toolbox. Your job is to go get the nuggets out of it and go implement it. And
Yes.
I think Kristen and you guys will attest to this. We can't want it for the agents more than the agents want it for themselves. But not
Absolutely.
one person in KW Bowl, Vancouver will ever say they left the brokerage because there was a lack of training. That's never going to happen.
Love that. Love that. And Kristen, when are we getting bold out here?
Listen, friends, you get me 50 people in that room and I will get KWRI to say, bless it.
All right, let's make it happen. All right. One of the other things I wanted to talk about is a bit of your track records as well, because I mean, I kind of hyped it at the beginning, but Kristen, obviously you're a coach, right? So you've seen and helped people get into production for the last several years. And Austin, you've been leading a group out of New Brunswick specifically with an average of 22 transactions, making, I think it was 139,000 in annual income. I mean, that's life-changing for a lot of people. Talk to me about what that looks like for Keller Williams here in Vancouver. We talked about the training, but what about that accountability part? What are we going to do to get these people and really change their lives? And this is where I know you guys are going to shine.
Well, for me, it's a matter of making sure that we're providing what we said we're going to provide. The other thing, part of the providing, is holding people accountable, whether it's setting up mentorship, preceptorships, or whatever it may be, is to make sure that we're always vigilant in holding people accountable to the task. So at Keller Williams, we have the economic model. One of the things that we're probably going to do is sit down and say, what's the goals for the remainder of 2026? And who's holding you accountable to those goals? Is it your significant other at home? Because that's what you're going to work for. If you come here and know nothing, you can't go home and tell your significant other that you're working today. So there's that. There's also coaching. There's mapped coaching. There's bold coaching. There's all kinds of other coaching that somebody can aspire to and go get held accountable. So the accountability part to me is a critical one. And it's one that most brokerages never talk about.
Mm-hmm. Agreed.
I think that's absolutely true, Austin. Accountability, obviously, as a coach, is huge in my world. And yet, even taking it a step further, if I don't know what motivates you, I can't help you grow. So I want to know the agents. I want to know what your GPS is. What are those goals? Like, is it monetary? Because for a lot of people, it will be. And guess what? It might not be for some. I coach agents right now who literally, they use real estate to fund their passion. It's not about real estate. It's about giving back to the community and having the money to do that. And so many agents have mindset issues, and I'll say that with all the love in my heart. They're in their own way. So when I teach you to think differently and believe differently and level up, I tell less experienced agents this all the time. Listen, if you don't have enough belief in yourself to be successful in this career, just trust me. Like, let me believe enough for you and borrow mine until I coach you up to lift your lid. And that happens at every level because let's face it, even as megas, you guys are high producers. Like on this call, you're high performing agents. And at some point, it's just a new lid. We still have doubts that creep in. It's happened with every agent who's thinking about transitioning to KW Bold right now. Do I? Don't I? We had this leadership. They said this, they said that. They're writing stories that don't exist. And yet, could you get into an environment that absolutely matters, that can change your life, your business, and your family's lives? Because that's who we are as humans. I could talk about it for an hour. I just came out of a bold room today where I got to do that for 6 hours. And yet it is a passion that is deeply ingrained in me because there is nothing more satisfying to me than when I see an agent who said I couldn't absolutely crush it because now they believe they can. That's what we're bringing there.
Kelly, I just want to swing back over to you in terms of the accountability aspect, because you're an agent who's been in this business at a high level. And this is going to, I think, speak to some of the agents. While you hear it come from leadership, it's one thing, right? Everyone hears that, okay, leadership says I need to be accountable, I need to do coaching. But let's bring it back to that agent perspective. What has accountability done for you in your business long term beyond what's been happening at the brokerages?
Well, I mean, even a person who's accountable, which I would say I am, still needs that outside coaching. That, as an example, I have had two coaches for quite a few years. One of them I had for over 10 years. Sunday nights, I'm in the office, I'm tracking my numbers, I'm getting them ready. I have to submit them. It gives me the opportunity to look back on the week and say, okay, what did I do well and what do I need to improve? How much do I have to amp up, my lead gen? And so knowing that you have to report to somebody changes the game for you. And also, to Kristen's point, especially my MAPS coach has always pushed me to rise above higher than what I could see for myself. As an example, the latest thing she made me do was send a letter to Gary Keller in the situation we were in and reach out to the highest possible level. And I felt at the end of the day, I ended up doing it because in my heart, I wanted to know that I did everything I possibly could to save KW here in Vancouver. And, all of these things, even our existing office that we own right now, it all came from a conversation with her who said, we were having challenges getting more offices. Our team was growing and we were getting pushback. And she said, well, what are you going to do about it? And I said, well, I guess I'm going to have to get an office and buy one. And she said, when are you going to do that? And what are you going to do to get it done? And I was like, oh my God. I said, I'm going to go on MLS tonight and I'll find something. And I did. But, these pivotal moments throughout my career. And I remember when I first hired her, it was in actually Bold. And I looked at the expense of it. And I remember that our income almost tripled the year after we hired her. So
Yeah.
It's undeniable, the accountability. And right now I'm in a competition called 76 Hard with agents all over North America. And every day I'm doing things that are uncomfortable, pushing myself, door knocking, doing all things video, sending out handwritten notes. There's homework every day, but you know what? It keeps you at the top of your game because otherwise you become complacent.
Well, and
Kelly,
2
how
points
long
on
have
what
you
you
been in the
just did.
business?
15 years.
And right. So 2 points I wanted to make on what you just said too. First of all, that accountability that 76 Hard is doing, you just went and signed a listing because the homework forced you to go after a specific lead gen method that you're not normally known for or comfortable doing. And
Yes.
she walked into my office yesterday, handing me her signed paperwork. So even agents at Kelly's level, 15 years in the business, can still learn and be held accountable to do new things and grow their business. And secondly, how serendipitous is it now that, our coach, Diva from MAPS, told us to go and buy this office because we are growing our team. We couldn't get more space. And now look where we are, where our office is now the brokerage for Keller Williams Bold now. How cool is that?
Amen.
And we were the first agents in our brokerage and I think our whole area to buy our own space too. So
Absolutely.
We
All right, I
just
want to
get
bring
to
this
show
back.
up differently. I mean, it kind of goes back to who we are as a culture. How does Keller Williams change your life? And how do you get to show up differently? And
Yes.
it doesn't matter if it's at a leadership level, at a 15-year tenure level, at a 1-year tenure level. Who you are in business with matters. That's the difference.
All right, I want to ask this question to everyone here, and whoever wants to jump in can jump in. We're still very early in Keller Williams Bold, Vancouver. Like literally, we're like a 3-day-old baby right now at this point, and we're about to grow up real fast. For any of the agents that have still been sitting on the fence there, they're former KW or they've maybe gone to another brokerage already, but they're looking inwards. What's something that you can say honestly that Keller Williams Bold is going to help them accomplish in a short amount of time here that would make them consider jumping off the fence and joining us, or maybe consider leaving where they just went to and coming back to KW?
That's a great question. And here's the thing. It's going to be a different answer for everyone. And at the same time, we care about what your answer is. If it's more money, cool, I got you. If it's get into production right now, cool, I got you. If it's mindset, you don't have belief in yourself, cool, I got you. Who are the people in your current brokerage or current world holding you accountable and actually believing enough in you to get you to do the hard things in full, authentic transparency? Because that's the team you get here. Like, I'm not going to tell you all the niceties. Like I'm gonna hurt you, I'm gonna hit you where it hurts, and I'm gonna hold you accountable to it. And yet I promise people get into production. Like there's
Amazing.
literal reason I won the 2025 Agent Production Award across all of the bold rooms throughout North America last year because I get you to do things different. I teach you to think differently. And you don't get to do that in every brokerage. You might be a dollar sign to them, you're a person to us.
Yeah,
Couldn't have been said better. Austin.
just to add to that is that those people that were with Keller Williams and left Keller Williams for various reasons. I want to say this. Come on back home. Come on back home and get inundated with the new version of what you can expect from leadership. And we'll always under promise and over deliver on every aspect of who we are. And our main concern is not how much money Keller Williams Bowl is going to get, is how much money we can put it in your pockets. Because if we help you get to where you want to go, if money is what's driving you, then when we help you get to where you want to go, you're going to help us to get to where we want to go. But the agents will always come first. Always. And here's the other thing. We're going to do for one like we're going to do for everyone. There's not going to be this is a system for this person and that's a system for that person. We want to be able to rest assure everyone you're going to get treated equally, no matter if you're new to the business or you're a seasoned veteran, because under Keller Williams, it's a cap modeling system. And there's only so much money we can get, or so much money that we can get in the first place. But you'll always come first. So when in New Brunswick, there's people that leave and come back, and I open my arms open and say, welcome home. It's okay that you left. Come on back home.
No judgment.
Awesome.
Here, the biggest difference is agents don't work for us. We work for them. And not every brokerage
that's a major
leadership,
mindset shift.
Yeah. Not every brokerage can say that.
Yeah.
Like we literally walk that every day. What can I do to make your life better?
And to be completely honest, like that is something that Kelly and we've had the discussions within our team as well. Like the agents who join our team, we work for you to help you grow. And I think it's very refreshing, in my opinion, Kelly, let me know if you agree, to hear that from a brokerage, because I feel like over the last several years, especially how some leadership has talked out there that, hey, you work for me, go out and sell real estate. And it should be the other way around. We pay fees to be serviced by a brokerage to help us grow. And I love that you guys come with that attitude. Kelly, do you have any more final thoughts that you wanted to bring up to any agents? Because obviously the number one thing that we've talked about with Austin and Kristen over the last several months is boots on the ground, right? We are still here. We are still KW. What are some final thoughts from you, someone who's been a diehard KW agent, to tell the agents who may have left or who are sitting on the fence?
I would say, it's been tumultuous over the last few years, but sometimes it's always darkest before the dawn. And I feel now that we finally have the leadership and the business sense and everything we've always needed here. We are the most expensive real estate market in this country. We should be leading as a brokerage, across all brands here. And I think that we have the best shot now than we've ever had because of the people that we have on the team. I'd say that I'm very education focused. I've always believed that the ROI is infinite on education, and to have leadership that is putting that at the forefront, as well as putting the agents first, just like Gary Keller does. I couldn't be happier about the situation. Is there, some rocky moments here as we're transitioning? Yes, I'd be lying if I said not. But I think it's just going to be a great office, and we have great people, and I think it will continue to grow now in the right direction.
I mean, absolutely. We're going to have growing pains, like anything. It's going to be, how do we submit this transaction? How is it going to be there? We've set up a brokerage in a week and a half, almost 2 weeks. Unheard of. We now have to place everything in position, but at the same token, those agents who stick with it are going to see the value that this Keller Williams is going to bring. It's going to be vastly different. I have one final question, because I know everyone's super busy. Kristen just finished a bold room, and now she's on with us too. Austin is 4 hours ahead. I have one final question, and this is going to sound familiar to anyone who's gone through a year from now. And we're celebrating what a great year it's been at Keller Williams Bold. What did we accomplish?
250 agents on the roster, everybody in production.
Woo!
Yeah, lives changed.
I love that.
Families
250
happy.
agents.
Yeah,
Awesome.
I think
Austin, what are
250
your
is a
thoughts?
good start. I think 250 is a good start. I really believe that if there's 14,000 real estate agents in Vancouver, we should be at 1,000.
Let's go.
So
Well,
they're sitting there
don't
waiting.
forget the 4,000 in the Fraser Valley, which is right adjoined to where we are, plus 800 in Chilliwack. So, we're actually closer to 19,000. So we've got a pretty large pond.
So maybe we're too late at 250 and 1,000 might be just more realistic.
Yeah, exactly.
Kelly, how about yourself?
Sky's the limit.
Yeah, I'm just excited about the fact that we're going to see some stability and some growth. And, we'll be at the next family reunion where we first sat down, reevaluating how far we've come. That's my vision for next year for family reunion.
Love it.
Okay, awesome, guys. I do appreciate all three of you guys spending your time to come on the podcast. And if you're new to this podcast, make sure you guys hit that follow button, subscribe to it. And also, I'm going to be dropping everyone's contact information. So if you'd like to have a conversation about Keller Williams Bold, then make sure you reach out to Kristen, Austin, myself, or Kelly. We're all here to help you guys. Any final thoughts from anyone here on the panel today?
I will close with this. Gary Keller says you can be anywhere you desire to be within 5 years. And guys, I've walked that path, I've lived it, and I can't wait to help agents live the same path. Let's go.
Let's go. Austin.
Onward.
Onward.
Onward. That's straight up Keller Williams right there. All right, Kelly, any final thoughts?
No, just excited to get some deals done under the new brokerage as we transition this week, put all of our listings in under Keller Williams Bold and get back to work because, no more distractions. Let's get into production.
Guys, and with that thing, thank you so much again for coming on the podcast today. We'll drop everyone's contact information below. Make sure you guys go and follow them, subscribe to this podcast, and also welcome to Keller Williams Bold Realty in Vancouver.